ABC, and in particular, Paulie. And so, if you'll give them a big giant. Lights in my face, so I can't really see you. So if I ask a question or something like that, just make sure that that you respond loudly. I think is the big one. This is the place where you're partying. This is the place where you can say whatever it is that is on your mind. Which actually, you know, one of the things I was thinking about that was different from last year. How many of you were here last year?
Markus and Stephen McFeely, and they are executive producers, and they have written the pilot for the show. None of this here, us, what we're doing, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, would happen without a gentleman who is the co-president of the studio. He's the director of the Marvel one-shot, which was called Agent Carter, which was the inspiration for where we did this. And he is just, he's Lou D'Esposito.
tend to learn all about Hydra, but if I had to place a bet, my bet would be that the person that you really came here to see was, ladies and gentlemen, the incredibly talented, the incredibly lovely, and the unbelievably kick-ass hero of our story, and that is Hayley Atwell.
It's very gratifying because in the first Avenger, we set up all these characters that we really love, particularly Peggy Carter, and then Steve had the nerve to freeze himself for 70 years. But we couldn't bring anybody back for the second movie except very old Peggy who couldn't get out. So having this show is this great opportunity to go back and mine this really rich territory that we never got a chance to play with.
Yeah, I mean, it occurs to us that Hayley, Peggy Carter has been in, say, a half hour of a 2 hours of the first Avenger movie, and she's been in 12 minutes of a really good one-shot. And in the pilot, she will have equaled her entire time on screen in the Marvel Universe. Right? That's a really cool opportunity because there's just plenty for us to do, let alone in an 8 episode series.
Louis, you had the pleasure of directing Hayley and in the one-shot. What's it like working with the next superstar on television?
It's very different. She's such a talented actress. We knew we had something special when Kelly came in the casting on Captain America, the first Avenger. I couldn't contain my excitement when she walked in to meet us. I think she can tell by the smile of the heart. And myself, Joe Johnston, and Stephen all, we knew right away we had it.
And speaking of that, Hayley, Peggy, what does she mean to you? What goes on in your head when you think about, and what happened when you read, because I was there the day that they handed you the script for the first episode. And
I was locked in the room and I couldn't leave until I finished reading.
She did. We put her on lockdown.
Yeah.
And you read the script for the first time, and you had a couple of concerns before you read the script, but then you read it, and what happened?
Well, the exciting thing with Peggy is that I don't feel like we've even touched the size of the adventures that she can have, and the powers that she has. So it was great to do Captain America 1 and then play her obviously as an old lady in 2 and then do the one-shot, but I feel like there's still so much that's unexplored, and so the pilot, the first episode that I've read is just the beginning of what is going to be an incredible opportunity for her to develop as a human being as well as this super spy. We see the kind of cost psychologically and emotionally on someone who's having to take on such extreme pressure and stress in her life and yet still hold it together. So it's going to be really exciting.
So, rather than just talking a little bit about it, we haven't started shooting. The writer's room is going to open shortly. And for those of you that don't know, the story takes place in what year?
1996.
1946. The war is over, Steve is gone, and Peggy is trying to pick up the pieces of her life. What's kind of fascinating, and we'll talk about this a lot during this hour, is that there's stuff that's going on in S.H.I.E.L.D. present day, but we have this incredible opportunity to be able to show you and tell you the story of what went on at the very beginning and how Peggy's dream, Peggy's concerns about what the world should be and how to make the world a better place is so many of the themes that we'll be working on with this show. But rather than just talk about it, you guys want to see a little something that Jeph Loeb is over there, and she's actually making all the stuff happen. As I say that in the dark. I don't want this to get lost. We have another surprise along the way. One of the great parts about doing this with someone like Lewis is that this is really a true partnership between Marvel Television and Marvel Studios, the folks that are bringing you this little movie that's about to open called Guardians of the Galaxy. And Lewis, you're directing the first episode, but we do have a little bit of exciting news that there's some other creative filmmakers that are thinking about coming on board. And can you tell the folks a little bit about that?
Well, my deal hasn't been signed yet, but first episode. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to tell you the things that I'm not supposed to, but I'm going to say it anyway. The directors from Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Russo and Russo, second and third episode they'll be directing. Spoke to Johnston, and he wants the fourth episode. First Captain America, and if this schedule works out, I'll be the first one director. All right.
It's a pretty extraordinary group of people. It's going to be an amazing show. It starts in 2015. I think we have just a little bit of time for a couple questions from the audience. Do we have the mic somewhere? I can't see anything. There it is. Oh, look! It's Peggy Carter.
Hi. As someone maybe on Cosplay, I'm really excited about how accurately Peggy Carter is portrayed in her military role. Is that praise that you got? Were you expecting that? And is that going to influence the show?
I get this one.
Sorry, say perhaps it again. What's going to influence the show?
The accuracy of her military role, just the way she handles herself is pretty accurate.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've got a fantastic research team on board just to make sure that every reference that we make is somehow backed up with authenticity, so we know what we're talking about. We've seen a little bit about her military background in the first and second one. We'll explore that further as we go along. But that's also my job as well, to make sure that I make her as accurate as I possibly can so that she's relatable to more audiences.
Thank you. Do we have another question? Do we have another Peggy Carter? For you? I think that's all for me.
I know the show's going to be about Peggy mostly, but I was wondering if Dominic Cooper is going to make a return and how it starts.
I speak for everyone here that would be fantastic if that could happen. Next question from, I guess, the next Peggy Carter. This is the best.
It's a question for Tara and Michelle. We're seeing Peggy being very male-dominated world when she's working and serving. Will there be any other female characters in the series?
We hope so. We actually have plans to come disclose, but yeah, I think certainly we saw the one shot. Much of the dramatic tension comes from the fact that she is a woman working in a man's world after before all the men come home. But there are other women in that world too who are just as powerful.
That's a great question. It feels a privilege. It's a very rare opportunity for me, for someone who's been working on stage and in television in the UK, to get a part on a kind of commercial global scale as something like this, as Marvel franchise, to also be portraying a woman that on the page I look up to as well. And when I was a little girl, there were parts like Peggy in lots of films and lots of things that I saw on television that I wanted to aspire to be to. So it's a great kind of huge bonus to be able to play someone that I hopefully young women will look up to as role model.
And so many more secrets that we want to spill. What I'd like